viewers, welcome to TechNet TV and thank you for watching Morning News. My name is Nicole Madziwa.
And my name is Shodnambro. Thank you so much for joining us. We took a very long break and now we're back to give you the best of the headlines news that we'll be having on the day. Without wasting much of your time, I would like to move quickly to Zimbabwe Independent, which is a screaming headline that reads, Mnangagwa prepares for demos crackdown. And it reads, after subjecting more than 1,000 regular police officers to paramilitary training, purchasing an assortment of weapons including AK, assault rifles and sniper rifles, government is moved to acquire millions of ammunition, 5,000 mortar bombs and 58,500 grenades to boost its arsenal in preparation for looming street protests as the intractable political and economic crisis worsens. Official documents seen by Zimbabwe Independent this week show that the President Emmerson Mnangagwa's government has ordered 18 types of ammo for the Republic Police support unit. The ammunition was listed as critical requirements and was acquired amid growing fears that the country could plunge into chaos in light of the deteriorating economy. So that's the story that's in Zimbabwe Independent, where the government is moving in to acquire more and more ammunition as the economic conditions continue to collapse as each day passes.
I got to give you though for Zim Independent. This is amazing. This is like an exclusive,
it's an exclusive
it's the
for
only
you.
story that we've
exclusive
seen
for you, yeah.
so far that has the Zimbabwe Independent that they have. And moving on, what I think on, it seems that even if you want to squash people from protesting, that's a lot of ammunition.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I don't know if the government is hoping or preparing or thinking that people will be violent. I think we also saw what the MDC youth was saying in light of everything that has been going on in the country and how the youth of MDC are going, the actions that they're going to take.
Looking at it, it seems that the government knows what is going to happen, and they are trying as much as possible, or by any means necessary, to consolidate their power by acquiring this ammunition. I don't know how much it costs, but we have so many critical areas that needs a lot of money, especially in this forex. We understand it's on record that these ammunitions are sold in forex. This is probably US dollars or euro or pounds. I would like to quickly move to what the minister said. Zimbabwe Independent tried to reach out to Home Affairs Minister Ken Matema, who refused to comment on the large consignment of weapons and ammunition being acquired by the police. He also refused to comment about the matter in our previous stories. I quote, he said, you are bothering me. Why are you bothering me? I want to rest. Go to the people who told you about it. Am I the one who told you? Matema filmed. So actually the minister was filming when he was being quizzed about this ammunition. What do you have?
Okay, on that note, I think the minister would have just handled it better. There are no weapons that have been, so case closed. You don't have to film, because you filming and then you not then saying anything actually is saying something. Anyway, moving on to the Herald, it says Mtuli targets price stabilization. Government fiscal consolidation measures and other initiatives introduced by the Zimbabwe economic programs should see the prices of goods starting to drop from next month, Finance and Economic Development Minister Professor Mtuli said in a pre-recorded governor's statement released during the fifth sorry, I take that. In the pre-recorded government statement released from the meeting of the boards of governors by the African Development Bank, said in the fourth annual meeting of the African Development Fund underway at Sipopo Conference Center, Professor Mtuli said the reforms introduced under the Transitional Stabilization Program were starting to bear fruit, and I quote, the reforms implemented by the government under the TSP of October 2018 to 2020 are beginning to show positive developments as the twin deficit challenge of the fiscal and current account are coming under control. Okay, so the code continues and he says a lot of things, but basically what he's saying from this code is things are going to get better next month and prices are going to get down, which does not really make sense. Because, fast forward, when it started in January, the government was also, actually not this year, it was actually last year when they were saying next year education was going to be free.
Yes.
But we have seen that teachers are actually even attempting to down tools because they actually not getting paid enough.
When it comes to Professor Mtuli, I respect him as an academic. He has done a lot of good work as far as his field is concerned. But I think I don't understand where he's getting all this stuff that he talks about. He talks about things getting better, but things are getting worse. I don't know, maybe he's going to pull a rabbit out of the hat somewhere, somehow. I don't know where he's going to get it. Right now, the country is in dire straits, and we really need this transitional stabilization program to yield results, of which there are nowhere in sight in the near future. I don't know where he's getting it. I'm failing to explain. Every time he opens his mouth, every time you see Professor Mtuli a story, he's saying things are going to be okay. Things are going to be okay. I don't know where he's going to get the money. I don't know. I'm going to quickly move over to Zimbabwe Independent, which says civil society activists on military watch list. It says the Zimbabwe National Army's Military Intelligence (MI) unit has placed on its watch list several civil society activists it claims are conniving with the United States to unseat President Emmerson Mnangagwa through violent activities. The Zimbabwean Independent can review. The MI is a military unit that uses information collection and analysis to provide guidance and direction to assist commanders in their decisions. In a recently circulated internal memorandum seen by the Independent this week, the MI claims it has gathered information on people who it claims are being sponsored by and working closely with the United States nationals to unleash a wave of attacks on strategic points using small arms, homemade bombs, and explosives. I think this story is continuing where civil society leaders are being harassed, they are being detained, and they are being questioned on allegations that they are planning to unseat a constitutionally elected government. This is a worrying state. It's growing as each day passes. I remember last week Zimbabwe Human Rights Forum, headed by their chairperson Justina Mukoko, they issued a scathing statement in which they condemned the unconstitutional and they were saying that the government must stop arresting and harassing all these civil society leaders. They were very much worried, and we've seen the tools people use. Zimbabwe Trust. Rashid Maia was also on the firing squad. This is a thing that must stop, especially for the Second Republic, the new dispensation that they're preaching. They really need to do more on this. They should stop this arrests and harassment. They should just let the civil society do its work.
Yeah, indeed. Moving on to the Herald, it says that MDC Alliance thugs attack Kupe again. So yesterday was the funeral and the send-off of the late Honorable Mumbai Changirai Java, who passed on after succumbing to an accident that she had earlier last month. So this is what happened yesterday. So the Herald, it says MDC Alliance thugs attack Kupe again. MDCT leader Dr. Thokozani Kupe yesterday condemned the rowdy behavior by MDC Alliance supporters after they jeered her during the funeral procession of Mbai Changirai Java, who was buried in Harare yesterday. This was after the director of ceremonies acknowledged the presence of Dr. Kupe at Glen Forest Memorial Park, where the body of Mrs. Changirai Java was laid to rest. The acknowledgement did not go down well with MDC supporters, some whom called for Dr. Kupe to leave. The incident had a strong reminder of the violent incident last year where thugs attacked Kupe and others at the burial of MDC founding president Morgan Changirai at Humanikwa village in Buera, threatening to burn her alive in a hut. The goons are believed to be fanatics of leader Mr. Nelson Chamisa. Speaking to the Herald on the sidelines of the burial ceremony, Dr. Kupe condemned the behavior and urged MDC Alliance supporters to stop politicizing funerals. I agree. I do honestly agree. I was there at the funeral processions yesterday. I do agree. I believe that as Zimbabweans we should have a spirit of tolerance.
Yeah.
Just because I'm ZANU-PF and you're ZAPU does not mean we should have differences. It's okay to be different, but it turns out that people do not exactly respect that. People hurt out there. Our country is hurting.
Yeah, it's hurting.
So we really hate each other to that core, because this was a funeral for a fellow comrade whom they were supposed to bury, and people were just supposed to go home. There was no need for jeering and no need to spread so much hate, but people felt like it was necessary to, throw shade and boo her and jeer her and stuff like that.
And immediately after that, I liked what MDC President Nelson Chamisa said in his address. He said, I quote, "With Dr. Coupe, we had some disagreements, but she's our comrade because we have a long journey that we walked together. I honor you, Dr. Coupe." He also goes on to say, "Dr. Coupe, once more I salute you. You were my deputy prime minister. When I was a minister, you were my vice president. When I was your spokesperson, organizing secretary, that hierarchy is not broken." He also said that yesterday was my first time meeting Dr. Coupe after I had looked for her before, and I said I will meet her one day. Reading from what Chamisa said, he was very sincere about Coupe's presence at the funeral, and that was a way of disquelling any incidents that had happened previously where the supporters had jeered and stuff. I also understand that Speaker of Parliament Jacob Mudenda was also jeered by these supporters. I think this thing moving forward must stop. He must be looking at galvanizing whatever that we have so that we move forward as a country, because we can't move forward even if we are divided on any racial, ethnic, political, religious grounds. We can't move forward.
That is true, but I also believe that the galvanizing can only happen if we have national healing, which our country has to have, as soon as possible, so that we can love one another.
Yeah, we need love.
Yeah.
All we need is love.
God's love, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you have?
I'm going to switch over to Zimbabwe Independent again, which says Paynet switches off banks. Paynet is a subsidiary of Mauritian financial services provider PaySave Africa. They suspended all local financial institutions from its transacting platform after they refused to pay in foreign currency for its services. This has had a knock-on effect of RTGS payments. Payment is the platform used in interbank RTGS transfers. The platform is also used by corporates to facilitate its payments. The standoff is the latest indication of a worsening economic crisis characterized by dilapidating liquidity crunch, foreign currency shortages, rising inflation, power outages, and low productivity. So Paynet pulls the plug on banks. The banks are refusing to pay foreign currency. Paynet is demanding foreign currency. So since it is in business, it has decided to switch off the plug.
But hey, like what Professor Mtulini is saying, things gonna get better.
Okay.
But apparently
we hope that things are going to get better.
Exactly.
I'm going to quickly move to the news day, which says, before you come in, which says Chiwenga speaks out after fatal accident. Controversial street pastor Talent Chiwenga, who was involved in a fatal road accident in Masungo on yesterday, claimed the incident was planned by suspected state security agents plotting to kill him. Chiwenga, who rose to fame for his scathing attacks on President Emerson Mnangagwa's government, lost his wife and a church member in the accident near Chatsworth while on his way to Harare. In a video clip shot from his hospital bed that went viral on social media yesterday, Chiwenga dared his pursuers, claiming he was not afraid of dying for the cause he was pursuing. He also chronicled a spate of suspicious incidents just before the accident, leading him to conclude that the accident was not normal. I saw the video yesterday. It became circulating, I think around 4 p.m. yesterday, and it's a very emotional video where he was trying to let the people know what really transpired, and he was not afraid of anything, and he boldly said that this accident was not normal. And I recall there was an incident where he said that one Pastor Baba Kanyuchi said to him that they are still here. I don't know who was being referred to as they are still here. Apostle Chiwenga has been very, very, very vocal in as far as what the government is lacking is concerned. He has been a very vocal critic of the government, and he's being involved in an accident obviously raises a lot of eyebrows, and we hope that the accident was just an accident.
And we do wish him a speedy recovery. Coming back to Herald, it says government retires Zisco Steel Board. Defunct steel manufacturer Zisco Steel is set to get a new board of directors after government retired the entire old board that has been there in office for more than a decade. Industry and Commerce Minister Mhorizita Mangaliso Ndlovu confirmed that the board led by Mr. Nyasha Makulise had overstayed its term of office and has been retired, paving way for the appointment of a new board. He goes on, of course, to comment, but my question is, will that improve how Zisco Steel has been operating? Because it's more like sometimes I've noticed that our country, we do this, new bottles, old wine, the taste doesn't change, it's still the same.
Still the same, yeah.
But it's just that the bottle has got this very new, fabulous, shiny, outside, but it doesn't really mean the contents are different. So that is, of course, according to the Herald. And moving on to the Daily News, it says ED scarf sold for 250 RTGS dollars. Fuel mogul Kudakwashe Tagwire flexed his financial muscle on Wednesday evening when he bought President Emerson Mnangagwa's trademark scarf for a jaw-dropping 250 RTGS dollars. This was at a fundraising dinner at one of Harare's top hotels to raise funds for the senior men's national soccer team, the Warriors, for the 2019 AFCON final set to kick off in Egypt on the 21st of June. My concern here is I think that our government should also be able to assist other sports disciplines, not only soccer. Just recently, the volleyball team, netball, yes, the netball gems, they actually qualified to go for a World Cup, and they needed money to go to Liverpool. So I feel like it was also nice if there was something done. Of course, corporates came through to assist. The likes of Tel One, they assisted, but it also it would also be nice if the government they actually do something for.
I think, personally, I think it's a matter of the government getting its priorities wrong. And also the Sport Regulation Commission has a blame that they can face as well, because I think this country needs a sports policy that says that whenever a national team, whatever discipline it is, whenever a national team is going for an international tournament or international game, they must be assisted by the government. This has been going on for a long time, where every time the Warriors are traveling, people come in, the government rushes in to help them. We have disciplines like karate, volleyball, netball, and other disciplines where you hear that they want money, but the government is quiet about it. But whenever the Warriors want money, that's when the government wants to come up with these committees or fundraising committee. Why can't they just have a fundraising committee for each and every sporting discipline, so that whenever we need money, the money is available? We understand.
But this largely falls on the Minister of Sport. No?
Yeah, the Minister of Sport. Yeah, she's been quite very, 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 very silent with regards to this case. It might be a problem, but we have the Sport and Recreation Commission. It must be doing something about this. I'm going to quickly move to Newsday, which says ZANU-PF youth spoil for a fight. It says ZANU-PF youth leaders say they are ready to counter anti-government protests planned by opposition and civic groups, setting the stage for a bruising political fight. They also alleged a sinister hidden hand behind the calls for demonstrations against President Emerson Mnangagwa's stewardship of the country. I quote, "Let them, opposition and civic groups, do that and they will learn a very big lesson. Let them get onto the streets and they will learn a very good example of how important it is to preserve peace. This is very simple and straightforward, and they must know that we will make sure that they are dealt with to the fullest." ZANU-PF Deputy Youth Secretary Louis Matutu told Newsday. This comment by ZANU-PF youth came a few days after MDC National Assembly issued a scathing statement against Emerson Mnangagwa's government. I would like to quote from that statement. It says, as progressive young people of Zimbabwe, we are concerned by the deteriorating socio-economic crisis in Zimbabwe. We will not watch whilst citizens are being oppressed and our parents are continuously and needlessly harassed. As an assembly, we are going very much we are very much alive to the fact that the author of all these challenges is one political party. And then it moves on to say, we are neither apologetic nor afraid to take this regime head on to ensure that we bring back the dignity, the decorum of our people. We cannot let this once jewel of Africa a laughing stock because of a few individuals with political interests to safeguard their ill-gotten wealth and loot. That was what the MDC National Assembly said in their press statement. So we must brace ourselves for a bruising political fight.
Exactly, and it's sad that it won't only be for people that are actually propagating for this violence. Even people, anyone can be a victim of the violence. Thank you so much for watching. The guys that are actually commenting here. Mayandoro says he was speeding. That past Mashigo Bay Bridge Road is bad. Who would want to kill him for what? I think that's a comment directed.
Yeah, because from the video he said he was moving at about 100 kilometers per hour, and knowing the state of Mashigo Road, that's speeding.
It is.
Yeah, that's speeding.
Really, yeah, and yes, he even said that he couldn't because of his fan belt.
Yeah.
He was 120, 100. I actually.
So which means even if his fan belt had not developed a problem, maybe he was moving at 140.
Yeah.
Because he had to reduce speed because of the problem of his fan belt.
So that could be also a point that you're raising. Thank you so much for commenting. Coming back to the Herald, the Daily News. Sorry, my apologies. The Daily News. It says, "Who will succeed Dabengwa?" Fissures have emerged in Zimbabwe over Dumisa Dabengwa's succession. Barely a fortnight after the Liberation War icon was laid to rest at his rural home in Dalazinduna in Matebelele North. The Daily News can report that two crucial meetings have been lined up in the coming week, where some senior officials in Zimbabwe will push for an extraordinary Congress to choose a new leadership, even ahead of its National Executive Council and National People's Council meetings slated for June 21 and June 22 respectively. Behind the scenes political gamesmanship have emerged for the control of the party. Zimbabwe insiders say Party Secretary General Strike Nkandla is tipped to land the post, while the Young Turks are pushing for South African-based youth leader Future Msebele to take over. Others speculate that Zimbabwe's acting president Isaac Mabuka could also be eyeing the post. So this is some of the ongoings of what's going on in Zimbabwe. Is it too soon for them? Yes, it is, and no. Yes and no. Okay, as people, yes, it's too soon. We're not going to be talking about that. But as an institution, Zimbabwe has to move forward.
Just to move forward, and
Yes.
I think from the history that we've learned here in Zimbabwe, someone took over even before the party leader who had died had been buried, and we all know who I'm talking about.
We're not going to mention
We're
any
not going
names.
to mention any names. I'm going to quickly move over to sport. The leading story that is in the news today, it says boxing star Manucci hospitalized. Boxing star Charles Manucci has been hospitalized after complaining of chest pains. Manucci was earlier this week rushed to Harare Hospital after he fell ill and was last night set to leave for further treatment in South Africa. Spokesperson of the former Global Boxing Union and Universal Boxing Council title holder Gilbert Munez said the 29-year-old was taken ill on Monday after his health failed. Pictures of Manucci on an oxygen mask emerged yesterday, fueling fears that the former World Boxing Council welterweight silver title winner's life was in danger. We wish Mr. Manucci, our boxing champion, a speedy recovery. And I'm also going to quickly move over to the Herald, which says cash win for Champs Warriors in Egypt. Where it says the Warriors are set to have a drama-free run-up to the Africa Cup of Nations tournament after the fundraising committee tasked to mobilize resources for their campaign got off to a good start when they managed to raise half the target during their initial fundraising dinner on Wednesday in Harare. I think we've mentioned that story from the from the Daily News, where the scarf was sold for 250,000. So this is a very good move by whoever was organizing that. The Warriors now have a drama-free run-up to the AFCON campaign, and they will have a mental state that is very fit for them to partake in the tournament and grind good results that we are all waiting for. I think from the sports desk, I'm done. What else do you have?
From the Daily News, it says Chamisa reaches out to Coupe. MDC President Nelson Chamisa yesterday reached out to his erstwhile counterpart Thokozani Coupe at the funeral wake of the party's late founding leader Morgan Tsvangirai's daughter Mbai Tsvangirai Java. Chamisa saluted the former MDC deputy president, who now leads a breakaway function under the MDC-T banner. The two parted ways last year soon after Tsvangirai's death, following a heated leadership wrangle that saw Coupe leading a smaller camp of the party. However, during the funeral procession at the City Sports, Chamisa reprimanded his supporters for booing Coupe, adding that despite their differences, it will not take away the fact that they have traveled a long way together. Of course, that's what you were saying earlier on, that we were saying that that was a very commendable thing.
I think I saw the live broadcast. I think what Chamisa did, he showed political maturity by reaching out. You don't take such platforms to attack people, to throw jibs at your opponents, but rather he used that to extend that olive branch. I hope that the political dialogue is really going to work out very well. Because about the political dialogue, Chamisa said the only way we are going to move this country forward is when we are able to sit around a table and have a negotiated understanding of the dispute that we have that is politically related. He also said it is the spirit that is contaminated. It is what we must correct politically and spiritually so that our country moves forward. That is why I am saying, Mr. Mnangagwa, let's have a political dialogue so that I can pinpoint for you, my brother, that yes, I understand Kutonga Kwaro. That is a way of leadership that I want to give you. Then we move forward. It doesn't need any mediators if we are united as a country. On that unifying point or scene, I would like to thank you so much for joining us, and I'd like to know if Nico has any comments from our social media.
Yes, there are a couple of comments. Thank you so much for coming forward. There is what's trending, however. So there's a letter that has been circulating of a supermarket along Samora Machel called
Or the People's Shop.
The People's Shop. So this it was done so nicely. If you see,
yeah, it was done nicely.
It was done nicely, proper. But unfortunately, along Samora Machel in Harare, there is no supermarket. So apparently, what this person did, RBZ has released a statement saying that what RBZ is, that's where this address of this shop is being said. You have your prices, affordable prices.
It was nicely done.
It was nicely done. That person took so much time to do all that, but unfortunately and put Mangujila's name as the person that you're supposed to call just in case you get to AT Samora Machel and you don't find anything. So they put Mangujila's phone number as the point person, which was that was very creative. But anyway, the RBZ has since released a statement saying that there is no such thing, and it was actually rather a very tense letter and statement.
It was very tense. I think people they are impatient. They are really waiting for these people shops. The government has promised them because of the price distortions that are currently prevailing in the market right now. So people are getting impatient, so they thought they could do something about it, and then they came up with that promotional flyer, put the Reserve Bank address on it, and also Dr. Mangujiga's number on that flyer. On that note, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us. My name is Stuart Nabu. See you again next time.
And my name is Nicole Manzila, and with the crew behind the scenes, thank you so much for watching, and catch us again tomorrow on Monday.
On Monday, yeah.
Yes,
we're going to be back on Monday.
Yeah. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy the rest of your day.